Hey there, this is Matt with State of Flux here with a review for Final Destination, the third. This is the third Final Destination film, and the good news here is that it is an improvement over Final Destination 2, which I thought absolutely sucked. This film is better in almost every way outside of how it looks. I think that this, in a lot of ways, is the worst looking Final Destination film. And I think it comes from this level of cheapness. I don't know how the financials were for the second Final Destination. Clearly it did well enough to warrant a threequel, but I, based on how this looks, feel like it maybe didn't make its full return on investment, so that they didn't apply as big of a budget to this film. That's speculation on my part, but I feel like I might be right. It also could be the 3D of it all, because I'm not watching it in the intended experience. The film, without like the 3D glasses and stuff, looks like it's overlit yet underlit. The lighting package and lens packages that they were using for this just didn't really seem to amplify or provide any nice visuals. That being said, it does work in most other ways. I feel like this is a stronger sequel to that first movie than the second one was, outside of the fact that it has no ties to the original film outside of setting and base premise. What this film does have up its sleeve, however, is Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who is absolutely fantastic in the film. Her and the other main character really are doing heavy lifting to make this film work wonders. And she is a good, interesting, compelling character brought to life with Mary Elizabeth Winstead's power, and it's not lost on me that she has had the longest career afterwards, or the most notable career afterwards, because she is really, really good all the way through. The death scenes in here are pretty extravagant, and I do like the whole beginning concept with it taking place at a amusement park, with one of the rides going off the rails, quite literally, and it really worked for me. It was a pretty tense scene, and as I say, I like some of the Rube Goldbergian death scenes that you get for some of the deaths in this. They're just particularly inspired. That said, the film does go off the rails in the last 15-ish minutes. I wish it would have ended at the logical concluding point. We didn't need any of that stuff at the train station at the end. I think it would have been better served to just have a traditional coda to the movie where the characters get together, and you don't need to have all these things have a completely morose or depressing or sad or shocking ending, because by the time you get to the third film, it's no longer shocking. But that is to say, it's a pretty solid film. If you are a fan of this franchise, this is one of the better installments. If you aren't a fan of the franchise so much, I still would give it the recommendation because of Mary Elizabeth Winstead. She makes this worth watching. And some of the other cast members, too, are quite good. There are one or two characters that just didn't really work for me, but I think they were made kind of unlikable by design, so that when they get picked off, you don't feel so bad. The last thing I want to talk about, I like the idea of the camera that catches the death, and that's where the clues and how are each of these characters going to die. Some of them are really on the nose, some of them are a little more inventive, but it reminded me of like that old Goosebumps Say Cheese and Die book, and this is kind of like the big screen adaptation of that, if you will. The hard R version of Goosebumps. That said, it was a good time. I like it. I give it a soft 3 stars, or an elevated 2.5 stars out of 4. What'd you think of the third Final Destination film? Let me know in the comment area down below. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Peace.